Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing, man? And yes, indeed, I am laying in my bed right now. If you don't see the background of my bed, yes, this is my bed. That's what I'm laying down on right now. And I came by to give you my late Wrestlemania thoughts. Talking about Wrestlemania that did happen from Wrestlemania last night. I gotta say, the Wrestlemania show was okay, but it was just like a show like any other. I think that's where their weakness hit, because in WrestleMania it was okay. So let me get off to the tag team matches just to get those out of the way. And so with Big Show, Kane, Kozlov, and Santino and Kofi Kingston versus the Core, I gotta say that match was too short, and they made the Core just look like jobbers. So it came to a point where they don't, really care much about the Core apparently, and it's easy to see right there because apparently it's like, why are they gonna have the Core lose in like 2 minutes? It's ridiculous. It's like the Core should have won, and they should have been jobbing to the Core, not the other way around, which was just pretty awful. Well, not awful, but was odd. That shouldn't have been happening, like really. So yeah, those are just my quick thoughts, and it was just ridiculous for the job like that. It's like watching SmackDown again. To be very honest, I have to say it was climatic, but they could have made the match a little bit longer than that, which was ridiculous. Other matches, Lay Cool and Dolph Ziggler versus Trish Stratus, Snooki and John Morrison. And I have to say, that match was too short too, but Snooki did play very well in the show. She did botch on that back foot somersault she did because Michelle McCool jumped forward, and it did look pretty realistic because it looked like she was going to escape, but she did get slammed. But she did pretty well. So I could see her as a full-time wrestler, which I heard from Jay Vardy, but I highly doubt that. I think she just should continue doing her show on Jersey Shore and just do it that one time. But it was great. I mean, it did it. People were amazed by Snooki, which was 2 thumbs up. I have to say, and apparently, which was I gotta say, she did a heck of a job. So I give her credit for that. But that match was too short. I thought Lay Cool was gonna pull up an upset win, but which wasn't the case. That did happen indeed. So, which that's what we got. So let's see what other matches that did happen. But yeah, it was good. Snooki Stratus and Morrison won, which was anticlimactic. But I thought Lay Cool was gonna dominate on Snooki and Stratus and Morrison, but that wasn't the case. And there was hardly any tags that were going on, so the match was too short also. Alright, the first match of the night that started was Alberto Del Rio versus Edge. I thought Alberto Del Rio should have won, and then Edge should have got his revenge by slamming his car because Alberto Del Rio pulled off an upset win, which I was amazed by. I don't know why they had to do that extra nonsense, which was just plain ridiculous. It's like, why is he trashing his car even though he won, which was ridiculous. It's like, he could have been like, Alberto Del Rio should have won, and then Edge and Christian could have got revenge by trashing his car even though he won, which would have made it even better. But it seems like that's not how it went down. So I gotta say that was a good match though, but Alberto Del Rio could have won to put a lot of potential in the feud. But hopefully Alberto Del Rio does get his revenge and gets the title by Extreme Rules, and then the feud can continue. So I had a funny dream that it was going to be Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena. That WrestleMania was Edge and Christian, but no title in the picture. But Edge and Christian really did. But Edge and Alberto Del Rio did pull off an okay match, which was fair. So the tag team matches, the Core versus Alberto Del Rio, Kofi Kingston, Santino, Big Show, and Kane was 2 stars. No, 1.5 star. Snooki, Morrison, Stratus versus Lay Cool and Ziggler is 2 stars. Because Snooki was just incredible at the end. Actually, 3 stars, 2.5 stars. Edge and Alberto Del Rio, 3 stars. So I give it a 3 stars out of 5. Next match we had was. What other matches did we have? Oh, Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio, which Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio. Cody Rhodes pulled off an upset win after nailing Rey Mysterio with the brace, which was a very climatic match. I thought Rey Mysterio was obviously going to win, but it seems like this is not the direction they want to go. I'm glad Rey Mysterio put Cody Rhodes over so Cody Rhodes could get this huge build up because DiBiase's already fallen apart. He's in a stupid storyline with Maurice, which isn't going nowhere, and I don't know why he hasn't won a match yet. He could at least won against Yoshitatsu, and then it could have been built up even better. Because for one thing, DiBiase is a loser, but and Maurice is, well, she was a winner and she won a match, but what else can I say? So apparently, with Cody Rhodes is getting this dashing gimmick, and now he's getting this non-dashing gimmick, which is just pretty hilarious. And I think Cody Rhodes is just funny, but a good wrestler at the same time, which is just he's just very phenomenal, and I give him props for that. So yeah. On top of that, what was I gonna say? Yeah, on top of that, I thought Rey Mysterio was gonna pull off an upset win from there, but it turned out Cody Rhodes was able to pull off an upset win, which was just a good match, and I give him props for that. Okay, other matches that did went on, CM Punk versus Randy Orton, and I gotta say, that match was very good. I thought Randy Orton was obviously gonna put CM Punk in the head, make it very anticlimactic, but they didn't, thank goodness they didn't go in that direction, because Randy Orton has that injured knee, and I'm glad they still selling that injured angle. I don't know why people are complaining about that. It's very good, because if you did put out CM Punk, then what's next for Randy Orton? Really, it's like he already put out like every member of New Nexus, which they could have had a feud with the Core, which I was hoping they could have done by SummerSlam. And then that's quite it. So apparently, we had what else was I gonna say? Yeah, apparently. So apparently, with CM Punk pull up a huge over here, Randy Orton, they did pull off a good match. And I can't remember much what happened, but Randy Orton did try to punch CM Punk in the head. Randy Orton's knee was still injured. I thought he was going to remove the knee, then just punt him anyway and fight through the pain, but that wasn't the case. So apparently CM Punk did have some good work in the match. Randy Orton did have some even work in the match. So I think that match was a 3.5 stars out of 5, which was just very climatic. But CM Punk jumping off the rope was kind of silly. It's like, when do we usually see him do something like that? But Randy Orton nails a good RKO. He could have countered the go to sleep to the RKO, which would have been even better, from my opinion. But because Randy Orton is just an incredible wrestler, I think he did earn it to be in the main event. So, in my opinion, so yeah, that's quite it. And then moving on, we had. Oh, it's just there. I already got like 6 matches. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, which indeed was a dark match, and surprisingly, indeed, Sheamus did pull off the win. It was a lumberjack match, but we didn't see that match. I wish I could find it on YouTube, but it turned out that Sheamus did get the win, and then Sheamus gets another win. So it turned out on Monday Night Raw, Sheamus is gonna feud with Sin Cara because he's Sin. And I think that's where they could go from there. So this would be a great build-up from there, if you feel what I'm saying. So yeah, so that was without a doubt a good match, though. Even though I didn't see it, but I did hear about it, which turned out was a good match. But I wish I did saw it. So, and then finally we had the match of the night. Triple H versus The Undertaker, which this match was very climatic. I thought Triple H was going to end the streak. I would have been frustrated if Triple H did won, but the match was very great throughout. I think Triple H Undertaker had solid chemistry in the match. Undertaker, incredible high flyer. He just jumped through the ropes, and then he dove on Hunter. He did a suicide dive, which was suicidal. And Triple H did a spine buster through the announce table. I thought the match was going to be even longer, which Triple H doing a 2-star on Taker. He still kicks out. Taker doing a 2-star on Triple H. He kicks out. Triple H did a pedigree, I think, on the chair. And if he did the pedigree on the announce table, did a 1-2 that Triple H kicks out, I think that would have been even better, to be very honest. I felt that would just be incredible. I really think that would have been even phenomenal. But you know, for Undertaker to be tough and strong, especially to stay down at 45 years old, he's still in it. He still has it at 45, especially all the training he does, despite all the injuries he has sustained, some arm injuries indeed, which was pretty surprising. And it was just great for Triple H, two 40-year-old men going at it, which 40-year-olds are pretty young. It's not like Jerry Lawler at 61, which indeed he did have his wrestling match with Michael Cole. So Triple H Undertaker actually did a heck of a job. I really was into this match. I thought the match was going to be even more than a half an hour. And apparently this was a great match. And this was the best match of the night. So, but for the match to end, the Undertaker armbar submission hold to Hell's Gate, which Triple H did tap out to, which I was very surprised. I thought he was going to escape it somehow. The match would keep going, but I was very surprised to see that happen, which we didn't expect. So, which was very anticlimactic apparently. So, I have to say this match is a 5-star out of 5. This was the best match of the night. Triple H and Undertaker, which tore the house down. And then we had Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler. Michael Cole did have a good upper hand, but he execute the moves too slowly. And he was in his college wrestling gear, which was just pretty silly. It was a surprising wrestling gear. I was wondering what his wrestling gear was, but I knew it was going to be singlets, but I thought they were going to be long singlets, and he didn't have to wear the stupid earpiece. I don't know why he wore that though. But apparently this was what we got. But Michael Cole was just so hilarious with his earpiece, and on top of that, Michael Cole wearing the earpiece. Oh man, this is just odd. And it was just pretty funny. But Michael Cole, you know, after Jerry Lawler was dominating most of the match, slamming him around, and just getting some payback, because Jerry Lawler finally got to put his hands on Michael Cole. Michael Cole was getting an upper hand after Jack Swagger's interference, and then Michael Cole he executed the moves pretty slowly, but he had his trainer ringside. His trainer, he did coach him very well, which was just pretty hilarious. So Michael Cole did have a good upper hand. Like, I knew Michael Cole was going to get an upper hand at some point. I don't know if anyone was listening, though, but that's what we got. It wasn't like Bret Hart and Vince McMahon, where the whole Bret Hart family comes down and beats up Vince McMahon. I wish the McMahon family came down, but there is a lot of McMahon family, but there's more of the Bret Hart family, which everyone did get their payback on. So, I don't know why it reminded them of the Bret Hart Vince McMahon incident. If Vince McMahon did get a huge... Bret Hart had an upper hand on Vince McMahon halfway through the build-up of Wrestlemania, which didn't make sense. I really think Vince McMahon should have just dominated, and then they get the payback, just like they did with Michael Cole. So, that's a lot of... But this match was even better than the Bret Hart Vince McMahon, because Bret Hart just dominated most of the match, which didn't make sense. I mean, Vince McMahon's family should have came out, and then Bret Hart's family should have just scared them off, because there was, like I said, there should be a lot of McMahon family, but there's more of the Bret Hart family, which I think that could have happened, but sorry to talk about that. But regarding this Michael Cole Jerry Lawler match, I really think Jerry Lawler like did a good job in the beginning, but it was funny how it started, which was very climatic. And Michael Cole, I thought Michael Cole was going to pull off an upset pin, but that's not the case. Or Stone Cold turns on Jerry Lawler, which wasn't the case either. How do you call that? Michael Cole getting a huge upper hand, which was good, but he executed the move slowly, but he did display his character right, because his coach was ringside, which really served a lot of purpose. So Michael Cole did execute the move slowly, but it turned out Jerry Lawler was able to turn the tables, did a submission hold after doing the punch, but he decided to put the submission hold. Michael Cole's like, I can't quit! I quit! And Stone Cold did it too long. I would have just rang the bell right there. That way, the Donna's GM wouldn't have stepped in like that. Like, what was up with that? he reversed the call, and now they're trying to build the feud up even more. Why couldn't they just end the feud there? Michael Cole tries to get his rematch, and then he could have won at Extreme Rules. Like, this was just like any other pay-per-view that we watched. This wasn't WrestleMania stuff. Like, I cannot believe they booked that match on WrestleMania. They could have had Jerry Lawler, John Cena, Miz triple threat match. Michael Cole screws Jerry Lawler, and then Jerry Lawler gets his payback on Extreme Rules, because this looked like an Extreme Rules match, to be very honest, even though there was no weapons in use, so intact. So hopefully they have a Jerry Lawler and Jack Swagger feud. Well, I don't know if they're going to go from there, but Jerry Lawler, they should have just got the win, but they decided not to go from there, which I don't believe. He should have just got the win, he retires, and then he ends on a good note, ends his career on a good note, but they decided not to go that road, which was just plain silly. But anyway, we have the final match of the night, John Cena and The Miz, which people said that match was so boring. I thought the match was very interesting. I wish I did have time to see the whole thing, but to say in my opinion, the match looked very good. I heard it ended on a double countout. The Rock reversed the call and steps out, gets payback on John Cena. I was pissed. John Cena should have won. He should have had a streak like The Undertaker did. That way it could be John Cena versus The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker could have ended his streak right there and retired the world champion. And he goes 20-0. So that's what we're hoping. Everyone's hoping John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania at SummerSlam. But that's not the case. So The Rock, well, it is in Miami, so it's going to be in The Rock's hometown. And so for him to fight John Cena in his hometown, which would be phenomenal. But if it was in Massachusetts, then we could have John Cena fighting The Rock in Massachusetts. But it's going to be Miami, so they want to see a good match like this. It's going to be a year build-up, so... But for The Rock to interfere in the match was just plain silly. I think John Cena should have been WWE Champion. And then, John Cena could have feuded with, CM Punk for the WWE Champion, I think, in my opinion. Or they could have even did, The Miz invoking his rematch clause, and then he fights John Cena. But John Cena should invoke his rematch clause. Because who else is The Miz going to fight? John Morrison, and then he wins again? I mean, John Morrison is just going to be a jobber. When will John Morrison step up to be WWE Champion? Or they could have Dolph Ziggler, Morrison, Cena, and The Miz in a Fatal 4-Way Extreme Rules match, or on the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. But I think Randy Orton's going to feud with The Miz again and have Randy Orton job The Miz again. Well, not job to him, but get buried by The Miz by some stupid interference, and then Miz wins by an upset, which was just phenomenal. Which wouldn't be that phenomenal, to say the least. So, for the most part, I forgot to give, Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler was 1.5 stars out of 5. It was just a match where you want to see Michael Cole get beaten the crap out of, which we got indeed. And John Cena and The Miz, 3 stars out of 5. 3 stars. The match was good and climatic, but hey, what else can we say? The Miz, I think, did kind of earn the win, but it was interference from The Rock, which was just silly. Now they're building The Miz up even more, because The Miz has a great gimmick, great personality, so they're trying to build him up from there. But I think The Miz should be main eventing SmackDown as world champion. I think he should have built up for the SmackDown and then go to Raw. So hopefully Miz goes to SmackDown, becomes world champion during the time of the draft, and hopefully he loses the title so he can go to SmackDown. Because I think he should just main event SmackDown, and then when he builds up for Raw, he could be even stronger. I think that's where they could go from there. So he's a good WWE champion, and he's a solid champion on Raw, so I have nothing against him, to say the least. But hopefully it's The Miz versus John Morrison Extreme Rules, not John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler, or have Dolph Ziggler involved in a triple threat match. That match would tear the house down. So that match would be great. So I'll see how it goes from there. So for The Miz's win, I didn't say much, but it was a good match. It was very climatic. I thought John Cena was going to win, but The Miz did kicked out from that hard attitude adjustment, which I give him props from that. So The Miz did good. He's starting to improve in the ring, I think so. So he's kind of like another Layla, to say the least, where they just get built up evenly, because they both debut at the same time and they get built up evenly. So that's how much I have to say. So this is the Ren Dog Streams, my WrestleMania review. And I forgot to tell you, I am going to a retreat this weekend. So hopefully I can send you videos and vlogs about that. In my Florida vlog, I forgot to send up on my Florida vlog. I've been falling behind on that. So hopefully you can see it sooner than later. So it's the Ren Dog Stream. Peace.